Okay, so I know that I said the last video was the last video of the night. However, I ran out of time. So I'm going to do a short video to finish up talking about the key differences in how psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissists target their prey victims, um, next relationship partners. So, sociopaths will scan for practical opportunities. They will check to see if you have money, position, how you look, and they'll mold themselves to match what the target wants. So they will pretend to need rescue if the target likes or is a helper. They'll target trusting or isolated people so that they can scam them or betray them. Psychopaths are particularly good at reading subtle cues, your body language, the way you walk, and they're able to spot easy targets or vulnerable targets who are often inexperienced, psychologically frail, or isolated individuals. And this person will appear to be as like a saving grace in a moment of distress. They're not run away as fast as you can. They are not, they are not, they are not, they are not. However, I do want to say it is not your fault if you are targeted by one of these personality types. Don't make yourself less empathetic or don't change anything about you to prevent them. And it is not a you issue, it is solely a them issue because they have to feel their supply. And that's all it is some kind of means to benefit them. But it is not your fault. It's not anything that you did to attract them. It's one of those really crappy things about people and human nature that somebody who is so very caring and would give chance after chance and forgive and really work hard to make things right, that another person would just take advantage of that and just it like it makes you angry because it's just like, why? But you will drive yourself insane trying to understand the why. It's like, I don't think you can or will understand the why. And you won't ever be able to convince them of the damage that is done to you. And it'll probably actually make them want to damage you more because then they know they affected you. So, yeah, from my experience with my relationship, it was like 7 years. Yeah, I think 7 years. But like I said, the relationship started off like he came in like a savior. Nah, I'm not gonna say a savior. He came in like Prince Charming, right? Because I had just gotten out of a divorce or was like kind of in that separation period, going through the divorce. But the thing about it, with that is that he came in like the complete opposite and just seemed like he was this really amazing person ready to like scoop me up off the ground. And my spidey senses were telling me something's not quite right. But I fall into a good majority of these traits of people that target, which is very scary and frustrating. I am a very empathetic person. I have dealt with low self esteem and insecurities and still do. I am a people pleaser. I am very strong and very committed and very loyal. And I have in the setting boundaries or sticking to the boundaries have so much trauma and unresolved wounds. Um, and then I tend to be, I wouldn't say I'm trusting and I'm not optimistic about people, but I can be naive about people. I believe I innately don't trust somebody and they have to typically prove themselves as to why I should trust them. And then there's always a part of me that's like, okay, this person will probably screw you over. And that could be now my thought process post that relationship, because I had to like figure out a way to protect myself basically from any future narcissists, psychopaths, or sociopaths that may decide to come into my life and try to do the same thing over. I do have a high tolerance for pain, and I will endure and stick things through. Part of that comes from my upbringing, where it just kind of seemed like divorce was not acceptable. So there's that. And then life circumstances, like I said, at the time we met, I was going through a divorce or had just finished a divorce. And then with divorces, there's financial issues and the isolation and the loneliness. And then I'm not being conceited, but I would probably fall in the attractiveness category. I am successful and I do have some status. So I was more of a trophy. And that's really what it was. And I have to really tell myself a lot that it's not me, it was him, not me. Um, yeah. But, anyways, I literally fit every category of the people that narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths tend to go for. So, at this point in my life, I am very, very cautious about people, because I don't ever want to wind up in that situation again, because it literally was like sucking the life out of me. Um, like when I look back through my older pictures, like I was so skinny and so stressed out, not sleeping, hardly eating. I probably ate maybe once a day, and it probably wasn't a lot at that. So like my typical weight was around no more than 125 pounds, and I'm 5'3" ish. But now, after being out of that for such a long time, like I've actually been able to gain weight for the first time in probably like, aside from when I was pregnant with my daughter. Like I am, I look so much more healthier and I'm so much more happier, but I feel like a huge weight was dropped. Like I lost, like I was carrying around a 200-pound weight on my back, basically was. But the reason that I feel like I was successful in staying away is because of the no contact order. And I think my first video, I talked about how hard it was going through the court, how hard it is going through the court system, because yes, there's victim advocates, but nobody is really caring for you. And so you really have to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and really make the decision to set the boundaries and stick to them. It's like you have to relearn how to do things all over again. But a main driving factor was that I didn't ever want my daughter to see this happen to me and then me go right back, because I don't want her to think that it's ever okay for a man to put hands on her or treat her any less than what she deserves. So that was my main reasoning. Thank you for listening.